Charlie Day from Day to Day Senior Care. How are you? Welcome to our Friday 9 a.m. How to start your senior care business. And it could be anywhere, but we are located here in New York, Suffolk County, and I am the founder, owner, Charles Day, and this is our second year. Yep, we did our first year and carried over clients into our second year. So now we're continuing to grow. And for those of you that don't know me yet, you can certainly find out my information um, up at our website, day-to-day-senior-care.com, and go to our founder, and you'll see the information on my experience that I'm bringing to this podcast series, which you can find on most RSS feeds like iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple, um, where we have our episodes. You can check out our prior episodes. Today's episode, they're normally, I'm keeping them 30 minutes or less, but I'm just going to explain a little bit today about how I got started doing this business and how I took it from $0 to profit by the end of 2025, last year, first year. I know first year businesses, um, a lot of people who start first year businesses, it's a lot of, especially entrepreneur minded folks know, like myself, that if most fail within the first year, second year, okay? And so I want to share a little bit about that today, but I also want to share the difference between myself sharing this information with you and you paying hundreds or thousands of dollars to learn from these bigger campaign ads that you see where, they'll fill an audience and they want to talk this and that. That's fine. I have nothing against it. I'm a friendly competitor, but I'm also a real down to earth guy, boots on the ground. Um, I I am going to share you real life experiences this year in this series. Um, the good, the bad, the ugly. But I'm also going to reflect on year one, on how I started with this in my mind. Well, I actually had it in my mind for years while I was working in nursing and assisted living facilities. I always wanted to do something. I wanted to own my own assisted living, things like that. I was always an entrepreneurial spirit minded person. But I finally took the leap in November of last year. I had left in a nursing facility where, oh, wait, let's see, who is this? Nope, that's somebody else. Yes, you can leave comments if you want. Some of them I can see right here on my laptop with my live streaming, but on TikTok, I got to squint a little and I wear glasses too. Um, I do not invite co hosts unless I know you. All right, just so everyone knows, because no one has told me yet in a comment. If someone has the time to tell me in a comment why everybody wants to co-host with me, because I know I'm not selling gold. I'm not giving away gold either. Um, okay. So anyway, we're going to get right into this subject. Thank you again for joining us in this podcast. And again, if you can't attend the whole thing right now, they are recorded and they are sent out to all our venues at day-to-day-senior-care.com. You can reach them through our website. You could DM me if you're interested, and I'll let you know where you can get them. And of course, with the RSS feed, our podcasts will go out to all the big venues, Apple and iHeartRadio and Spotify. So you can always hear us on the road. Okay. But this is what I wanted to do for a while, folks. So, yes, starting your own senior care company. Okay. Now, here you are. Number one, I will say whatever company you start, whether you're going into the service business, the product business, any restaurant business, e- everyone knows you have to have that inner passion, something driving you, whether it is your experience in your career that led you to that? Like you were a waiter and then a hostess, and I mean, and then you were working behind the restaurant and cooking, worked your way up, became a manager, and now you're at the point. You know what? I want to own my own restaurant. Awesome, great guys. That and ladies, that's perfect. With home care specifically is what I started, but non-medical right now. It's in New York State. I had to get my LLC, which I will explain someday in another workshop series that we're doing. But today I'm concentrating on just the basics. Okay. But you got to get your LLC. You got to file your articles of organization. And that is a very difficult uh, it's not I shouldn't say difficult, it's just very challenging, especially for an older guy like myself who's never opened up an LLC like that. Back when I did an LLC for a small press publishing, I didn't have to go through all of that. Yeah, so you got to send a certain amount of weeks with a newspaper. You have to register your business with a newspaper, and they do it for 6 weeks, weekly and daily. Okay, but putting it all together, yeah, there's people, and be cautious, folks, because there's people out there that charge you 400 or 500 bucks to form an LLC for you. Um, yeah, look, I could offer it too and say, hey, but it's very easy. Um, in the fact that, although challenging, there's steps. Okay. And again, I did make a mistake or two. It did cost me a little money, but I learned and I got it done. And now I'm all registered. You only have to do it once. Okay. So you get your home care uh, license, New York, everything's ready to go. You're registered. You got to have a business name, right? You got to find a business name, run a search. So this way, if you start Joe's, a vacuum company, that you're not going to find six other Joe's vacuum companies in different states and all that. It just gets messy, and you want to have your own domain, your own unique name, so you don't run into any liability issues down the road. So I did that, and I found Day to Day Senior Care Consult and Services LLC. So that's what I founded. Um, and I'm taking my 3 decades of experience and passion in the senior care industry exclusively to now work outside the walls, quote unquote, meaning I don't need to be in the assisted living, as a director and doing operations and sales and budgeting, and working with clients and residents, and staff. I'm on the outside. Okay, I'm building. I have an office in Hicksville and I have an office in Holbrook. I can visit either one. It's a company that allows you access to other office suites. So I have that for now, which is fine. And then you want to also look at your passion, because this is what's going to drive you with the senior care companion program. Okay, I am going to stop on occasion just to check if any questions. But folks, if you do have any questions or you want to leave a comment, I can always see. Let me see. Yeah, I can always see it live on the side of my screen. Okay. Okay. So getting back to the oh yeah, and I need to be on a timer too. So let's see. Yeah, 9:22. I don't want to be on too long today. Oh, I see it up on the left. Perfect. Okay. I'm in a restream audio studio, podcast type of studio. It's pretty awesome. I'll explain that another time. So getting back to the business. So you want to start a home care, senior care business. You can go two routes, guys, ladies. You can go with the non-companion, or you can go, I mean, the non-medical or the medical. In New York is different than, say, Maine or other states. So I'm going to stay specific right now with New York. Okay. So in New York, what we have is the medical requires you to submit an operator's application license to be licensed in New York State. Okay, folks. Anyone thinks that they do not. That's not the case, because the moment you provide some type of a medical care and you're not licensed, you're going to be in trouble, and the state's going to, and the family goes after you. you're gonna be in trouble. Okay, you need that license in order to qualify. The New York State, they're not just gonna just give out licenses to everybody. They need to see that you've got some experience in the business, and that you've got an income and a fairly good income, I guess. I know some people have told me that they like to see all your financials in the bank and everything because they want to know you're going to run a home care agency and you're going to bill third party insurances and you're registered with the state. You need to be able to keep that business because I know the behind the scenes. I know how the DOH thinks because they came and audited my buildings that I was in for so many years, and in assisted living for 15 years, and nursing homes for years. Um, so they don't want to have to go in there and help close that facility after you have all these clients that now are going to need a new home care agency to deal with. So it's in their best interest as well to make sure that you're financially qualified. Yep. I'm going to tell you guys the facts. People can, other places. Oh yeah, we can get you that LLC. We can get you that operator's license. They tell you, they almost promise you that they're going to get you the license. If you pay them $500, they will get you a license to run a home care agency. Folks, it don't work that way. It does not work that way. Okay, I know this. Um, they're gonna look at even when I got my active, which is still active today, my New York State nursing home administrator's license. They went over my moral character. They checked my background. They wanted 10 years experience that I was working in the field or something that showed that I was serious in the business. So with an operator's license, they're gonna be even more uh, um, ma- what's the word here? They're gonna be more meticulous on how they screen and find out if you're the right person for a license in New York State. Obviously, if you're a nurse, um, if you've worked in assisted living for many years, or you've done home care for many years, they're going to look at that and see that you've got sincerity in there. Now, I'm not saying that people don't get New York State licenses. If they're a big company, they're already existing nursing homes, or they're power grabber franchise owners that are pushing to get their home care agency into New York State, which is fine. There's competition. There's enough people. There's enough people out there that need help anyway. So they do sometimes will do they'll do that. But again, you just have to realize if you're going to go medical, you're going to have to go through that operator, and it can take a while. It could take up to, oh boy, up to a year. Now, myself, I stand a chance of maybe getting approved earlier once I get everything going because they know me, they've seen me, they've come in and audited my buildings, surveyed my buildings that I worked in. They know I've been in the business for so long, and they know how serious I am. But I figured I was going to do it this way, and the reason I'm bringing this up is you can too. What you can do is you start with a senior care non-medical. You start taking people that just need companionship, your meal preparation, trips to the grocery. I do it. I have 4 clients still I'm holding on to, and I came into year 2. I haven't let them go. So, then you're building the business already, so when you go to apply for your nursing home your, home care agency, you've already showed, "Yeah, I'm doing this and I've made profit each month over time. I've acquired clients." You tell them, and you're writing down that you've been working with families and taking care, and now you want to graduate to home care because you have clients that may need medical care. You may have a client for a year, and then all of a sudden they have a fall, go in the hospital. Now they're coming back and they need assistance. Well, guess what? If you're just a companions can only be there to assist. They can't give the medications. They can't do the wound care. They can't do the dressings. They can't do anything that involves that intervention. So sure, you can be there, but you're going to have to call one of your pals in the industry and, oh, you do home care, you do private pay, you do Medicare, you do Medicaid, and then you get those people to come in and help your client out. And sometimes the social workers in the hospitals, folks, will try and bring their own. They'll send their own home care agency. trust me, if you're managing that client and your family is allowing you the responsibility to make those decisions like they do with me because they know of my background, they know my experience, I tell them, hold up, before you take any home care agency, I want to know that what they do, how they're going to take care of her. Preferably, if I know them in the industry over the 3 decades, there's a good chance I may know the management and above, and then we're going to have a conversation. So nobody gets into our client's home until I approve the home care and the doctors and all that stuff too. Some people sometimes that's why I'm helping client families too. I have a Q&A with Charlie Day. I can go over all that stuff there. But anyway, let's see. We're on the 15-minute mark. Any questions? I've got a flash goal. What is a flash goal? Can someone share with me a flash goal? I get these on TikTok. Okay, I noticed the co-host stopped because I was very definitive about that. I don't need co-hosts. I need um, just questions. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm looking further behind my laptop here. Uh, roll the co-host, invite solid. Okay, so anyway, yes. So we are again Charles Day, Day to Day Senior Care. We're talking about year one, starting your home care non-medical companion program services. And folks, I share it. I'll share it in all my podcasts and episodes going down the road. 1 second. You got two options with me, making it very simple. Okay. If you want, you can certainly join my company as we're growing in our second year and our third year. I'm going to need strong territory account managers, people that can actually go in their territory, whether they're in Comac or Nassau County, in a township, and you have your own township. You can start from your neighbors. You can start from your family. What you do is you start promoting that you can offer services. Um, I and say, "I can help with meal prep, I can, transport, I can, care for you, I have a passion," and you get your first client, your second client, your third client, then you start saying, "Okay, I'm doing like 30 hours a week, but, oh, Nancy just called me, her friend down the street needs help. Oh, well, I can't do her because I already doing enough hours." So what do? You call me, or you know someone that's trusty that can be a companion, you give them to me, we run them through the background check system and everything else. I do a very rigorous um, employee process. I am not taking anybody in that I don't feel comfortable with. I've done a lot of years, decades of interviews. I know people's personalities. I can tell right away if they're at least have that passion. If they don't have the passion or the desire, they're not getting in because I don't need anyone just sitting there on their phone all the time and not involving themselves with the resident who's got mild dementia. I don't care. You sit next to her, you watch TV, you two laugh together. Whatever it takes. But yeah, so and you can be a territory account manager. I do trainings. We go out in the field together. Okay, where are you going to find that? Where are you going to find that with all these companies saying, "Yeah, we'll generate leads. We'll generate." You know what? If you're going to generate leads for me, and I don't see it within the first month because they promise you, "Oh yeah, within 30 days we've got leads for you. We do AI this and AI that." The bottom line, folks, it's a referral system, and you need to be out there talking to people. Come spend a couple of months with me. I'm going to do the same thing I did when I started last year. I'm going to get my 4 clients. It'll happen. It may take a little time. This is not a product that we're selling as opposed to a service. These are people. You may talk to 4 or 5 people, and then 2 months later, you'll get a phone call. Oh, you know what? I saw your Google reviews. A friend knows you or something, and then they want you and they want you with their family. People are very, very smart nowadays. When people are looking for let me just check the time because I could talk on and on. Okay, people are looking for responsible, trustworthy companions. Many have been burned, and I'm telling you, I've heard the stories. Okay, guys, I'm not, and ladies, I'm not You know what I mean? I know a lot of people in the industry, and I know a lot of people out there, and there are agencies that they're fearful of getting someone from an agency because they've been burned because they never have enough staff. They're in one week, they're out the next. They get somebody new, they're not paying enough, so or they get someone that not screening enough, so the companion winds up being someone who brings their personal life to work every week, and they share more about themselves and all the woes and things in their lives. And the clients are telling me, "Oh my gosh, I had this one person, and she would always talk about her ex-boyfriend and thought it was perfectly normal to do that." Because there's a lot. I could go on and on, folks. But when you're going to a start as a senior companion program first, get to know the mechanics, get to know the operations, get to know that you're going to have to budget, you're going to have a accounting program, a business attorney, all that stuff. But your first year is basically discovering yourself. And then as an account territory manager, the sky's the limit. And you could also, and then being with me for a while helps you. And then you can go on your own and do it. Look, God bless you. You go on your own and you start your business. I would prefer you stay with me because as we grow, we're going to have more and more account territory managers. And then it pays more, and we will eventually possibly franchise. So if anyone is already in our business, that's just the type of guy I am. I've got a lot of references. I'm going to be very, very liberal with our managers. Would most likely wouldn't even. Um, it would just be a relationship with commission, some extra commissions and bonuses. But if we're bringing in someone from the outside, from another state, and I trust this person, and they've got a good, because they're going to have to, in order to franchise with my company in the future, you're going to have that same mentality that I have. You're going to have that same passion. So I'm not just going to let people go, take our business name and go out and do whatever they want. So I don't even, this as a business owner, you always want to have a 5-year plan. I'll end it with that today. Okay. You want to have a 5-year plan and you want to have an exit plan. And I learned a lot of this by just not from all the years and years of schooling and, with the credentials you see underneath there. It was over between November of 2024 and April of 2025 when I did a ton of courses with the SCORE program and got a lot of information for nearly free, actually, on how to be a business owner and stuff like that. Because guys, I wasn't a business owner per se. I was always either a manager, an assistant director, a director, and then a nursing home administrator, which felt like an owner because my license was on the building. And if anything went wrong, they'd come after me as well. The owners would get away with it, kind of. It was the administrator's fault. And I don't mean that in a bad way to nursing homes. It's just that that's how the state looks at it. The operator gets hit financially. I get hit with what do you call a bad mark on my license. Not good. So sometimes we would, butt heads together in disagreeing with, different rules and regulations and things like that. But that's all something separate. Okay. I do get sidetracked now and then, folks. Any questions? Questions? We got about 7 minutes left. I keep these at 30 minutes. Okay, here we go. So, all right. So you get your LLC, and now you're you're a territory account manager because you need to get some territory accounts. Okay, so here you go. You're speaking with your friends. You're speaking with your co-workers, former peers. Never want to burn bridges with them. And you're attending conferences and events. You can take some of your experience in something, say like social work. I know a owner out there that's using her social work background to do CE credits, and I respect that. I think that's a great idea because she's getting into the she's she's in the assisted livings and all that where there's a lot of opportunity for future clients, and I get it. It's all good. And plus, the social workers are getting CE credits, and she's getting exposure. So it's all good. All good. In fact, they have one in March too. I think it's the Atria East Northport. I'm going to be over at there. I'm very close with the Atria East Northport people. Um, all right. So what else? Yeah, so you get the territory now. You got a couple of clients. You start doing your, you got to pick some type of program. I use QuickBooks. QuickBooks helps because you want to open up a business checking account. Go to a reputable bank, open up a business checking account. Don't forget, you also have to get your tax ID number. So you got to register with the IRS, and everything's got to be done in a timely fashion. Otherwise, bink, you got to start all over again. And trust me, folks, you don't want to have to pay for that. And that's where some people take that and they leverage it and they put out campaign ad. Oh yeah, yeah, I'll do your LLC. I'll get you set up with the articles organization. I'll get that tax code for you. Just give me your social security number, and you'll be all set up for $500. Oh, and I'll do the articles and organization for another $395, 10% off for you, folks. Come see me, Charlie Day. We're real. We're down to earth, and you'll get personal and private time with me. Okay. And we are looking for more companions, and we're not overwhelming ourselves because, again, mostly family, former peers are surrounding me at this point. Um, as we, all of us, service our clients. But I will take in, like I said, somebody new. Um, if I feel you have that entrepreneurial spirit, things like that. Okay. So we're near the end. Um, one last thing. You got everything together. You are ready to go. Get your business cards from Staples or Canva. Um, get ready to also do your promo and marketing. Okay, folks. And I thought it was just going to be, join the rest of the chain gang, all the senior care companion programs and post care this and care that, and we're going to help your loved one. But then I said, you know what? There's so much more. Nowadays, they want real live discussions with management, with the owners. They want to see what's going on. They want the Google reviews. They want um, a lot of people are using, I know they go to Google or AI to find nursing or assisted living or home care, but at the same time they're looking on TikTok, they're looking on Instagram, they're looking on Facebook, they're looking on YouTube. All those commercials, all those uh, home care companies are sending out their commercials, especially the larger ones who can afford to spend all that money and just keep them going and going and going and going. But there's a reason behind that. You know what the reason is? Repetition creates leads because consistency is key. And there you go. That's the answer. I can't get much deeper than that. And I learned it. You'll learn it too. You'll realize, I started. Look, I could have hired a bunch of people and spent thousands, but I was the type that wanted to, you know, I wanted to show profit each month, so I held back on as many expenses as I can. Very important. You don't want to go over expenses. Look, the first 4 months. I was over by thousands and thousands of dollars that I had to put my own capital in because I wasn't getting any profit. So it took another 6 months to get that back and then go into net profit. Um, and you got to just do it wisely. You've got to keep your expenses down the first year as best you can. Keep them down, show some profit. Doesn't have to be huge, but to a bank, when you want to go for a business loan after year two, because they usually want it, 2 years of business. I'll go in that another time. But then you got it. So the financials are another key to your success, folks. Okay. Again, I know I'm only in the business year two, and there's people out there that have been doing this for 5 years, 10 years. That's great. Awesome to you guys and ladies. But you want to learn from start, catch up with me now, not 5 years from now. Catch up with me now. I'm in year two. Follow me. Join me on Facebook. Uh, Day to Day Senior Care Facebook. I need, you can put likes over there. Always looking. They want at least 100 likes over there to do some podcasting, live stuff. Um, I prefer to be over there. And then, check our YouTube recordings. Whatever, DM me, give me a call. Um, we're looking to hire. We're looking to do more trainings. I'll be doing more podcasting, folks. So thank you again. Charlie Day, day to day senior care.com. Bye bye for now.